What is going on, Earth 2 novice, enthusiasts, and everyone in between? I'm going to do a quick intro. We're going to jump in. I want you guys to, first and foremost, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate that you guys see me as a source for vital information, and I try to give you the best information, the most accurate information, and the most up-to-date information. So I definitely have some good stuff in store for you. Before we get started, let's make sure that we all know to sign up on the contact form below. Why? Because you'll be entered in a chance to have me use your referral code when I make my purchases, as well as the free land giveaway. And I'm going to be announcing the winner of the free land giveaway in this video. Each week I give away land that is basically, so when you use my referral code, that actually goes into an account. Through that account, I make purchases with land, and that land is given away each week. So your money could potentially end up going back to you. So on top of the 5% discount that you're going to get for using my code, that land is going to then potentially end up going back to you. The way you sign up for both of those things, again, is in the contact form in the links below. So please do that. Don't bother putting your referral code in the comments. I don't get referral codes from the comments. I get them from the contact form in the link below. I'd also like to encourage you guys to make sure that you're subscribed to the correct channel. If you're watching this, that means you're watching this on mealprepbiz101.com. No problem. I still post Earth 2 stuff here, but I always post it later. This video was actually shot live and streamed live on my new channel, which is Intentional Being. You will also find the link to that in the notes below. And there will be some other links in there, some other information. So check all that stuff out. Again, thank you so much. Let's jump right into it. Thank you for joining me live. If you're doing so on Intentional Being, my new YouTube channel. And if you're watching this on Meal Prep Biz 101, no problem. Just make sure you're subscribed to Intentional Being. The link is in the notes below. I've got a lot to go over. I'm basically going to be, as I like to do, I know there's a lot of speculation in this Earth 2 world, and a lot of people, I always try to be very careful when I am speculating, to tell you when I'm speculating, just pulling something out of thin air. And as you know, I like to get stuff right from the horse's mouth. So a lot of the information I'm going to be dumping on you right from the horse's mouth. Put up with my reading. My head is hurting. But this is going to be touching on a lot of stuff you guys have been asking about, a lot of stuff I've been asking about and I've been wondering about. So hopefully this will give you some answers and some timelines. Number one, we're going to be talking about phase 2, which, as I said, I think last week I said it was going to be within the next couple of weeks. That's what I felt. That's what I speculated. I think that's coming very soon. I hope I'm going to be proven right. We've got the trailer coming out. We've got a countdown to the trailer, and the trailer is going to make even more people flood to Earth 2, and I've mentioned that in other videos. We've got the trailer's obviously going to give us a taste of what the terrain is going to be. We've got updates talking about Essence, updates talking about Dubai, how that's going to be released, when that's going to be released. Well, not when, but how, and how we're going to know, and all sorts of other things. So let's dive into it. Again, this stuff is coming right from the CEO, Shane Isaac. So I'll dive right into it. Dear Earth 2 users, it is hard to believe that Earth 2 launched only 3 months ago. And a lot of people were asking, they're like, oh, I heard it was launched in August. Well, definitively, now we know, November. The past 7 weeks have kept our whole team run off our feet, but we accept these are good problems to have, and we thank you for your understanding as we deal with the hyper growth we received, something that not many companies or people ever get to experience. I think he's running off our feet. Maybe that's an Australian term. He's Australian. I'm assuming that means running a lot, running around like a chicken with its head cut off. That's a American colloquialism. In any case, or saying, I should say. Since late December, we have spent a lot of time fixing and improving things while also trying to scale things, plan for things, partner with companies, keep the community updated, accommodate dialogue from some of the biggest VCs in the world, fast track phase 2, process withdrawals, manage user accounts, support users, continue building and planning for the game, expand the team, maintain weekly meetings between 5 internal teams, review opportunities, receive and act on advice, negotiate deals, plus a multitude of other problems, tasks, and requirements that need to be addressed when you grow so fast. Records have been set. There is no doubt. We already have a lot of stories to tell, and those stories would certainly shed light on many things taking place right now, but those are stories for another day. Earth 2 is bigger than all of that right now. A large part of our team is still focusing on improving withdrawals and support. That has not changed. However, we want to give our followers an update on what we are also working on what we expect, and a few changes taking place now and why. Mapbox. If you guys aren't familiar with Mapbox, look Mapbox up. This is a big deal. So this is one of the, I mean, all these announcements are really cool. I think this one especially is pretty cool. So Mapbox Earth 2 is extremely excited to announce a partnership with Mapbox moving forward. Many of you know, or many of you will know that Mapbox already powers location for some of the biggest apps in the world like Snap, Facebook, Strava, and Tableau. Our teams are already working together, and also look up those other, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Snap and Facebook, but Strava and Tableau, check out those companies as well, and you get some more context as to what Map actually does. Our teams are already working together to enhance and deliver exciting new features, which will begin taking the Earth 2 Map experience to a whole new level. A more official announcement is coming, so please stay tuned to the Mapbox showcase page as we highlight exciting developments in a promotion that will go out to over 1 million developers worldwide. What do I think that means? Just speculating, pulling out of just that, but immediately when I read that before, I'm thinking this is going to be open source. I mean, think about the future that all of the tech, the real dedicated tech people want is something that's going to be decentralized, stuff that's going to be open source, just fighting against the structure, you know, fighting against the man. We're seeing it with Wall Street bets and with stocks, and now people are going to cryptocurrency, and not just any cryptocurrency, but a lot of people are flooding to decentralized finance, DeFi. You're going to hear a lot more about it if you're not familiar with what DeFi is, but look it up. But it's basically cutting out the banks, cutting out all of these companies who, the software companies and everything. Not to say software companies are bad, but the idea of open source kind of goes after the idea of licensing things. It's more sharing. It's kind of, there are a lot of socialist kind of factors to it and aspects to it. So I'm sure that's going to be very controversial with a lot of people and get into a whole political thing. But we're not going to do that in this episode. But DeFi, open source, and this mass communal development incentive that is going to be going out, I'm very excited about. So again, I'll read that to you. Please stay tuned to Mapbox Showcase page as we highlight exciting developments in a promotion that will go out to over 1 million developers worldwide. We're extremely excited about what our two teams can achieve, both in the short and long term. Essence, we were talking about Essence in the last video that I did, the last live segment that I did. So Essence, around the middle of February, like I said, our team will commence final testing for Essence distribution on properties. If all goes well, we would hope to roll that out quickly, which will add to the gameplay already available. So on top of the economy that already exists, which is buying, selling, trading, properties, and all that jazz, there will also now be resources. And a lot of people have been asking about the resources. Which ones are they going to do with it? They are going to have their own special resource, which will be Essence. And he adds to that little blurb, to recap, every property will create Essence over time, and Essence boosts on your properties will be available for purchase using $dollar credit, whatever that's called, the $dollar credit. So as you guys have probably noticed, the accounts are no longer say dollars. When you have money in your account, it's no longer in dollar amounts, it's in dollars. So bear with me. All right, teleportation. Now, this has also been, I've had some discussions with teleportation, and we were talking about, that was one of the speculative tangents I went down, where we were talking about teleportation and are the characters going to be able to fly? Because if we can do that stuff, especially if we can teleport, what's that going to do as far as a resource like oil? Because obviously oil is normally used for fossil fuels, but there are definitely other uses for oil. So it probably still going to be a resource. I still think it's going to be a resource, mainly because one of the developers specifically used oil as an example. That was the only resource I recall him using in the live stream as an example. And he specifically said, he was talking about oil, and one of the things that he mentioned, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, is if you're trying to buy oil, don't just focus on where the refineries are, because most of the time there's not actually oil below those refineries. You got to go to the oil fields. And that was the example he was giving. So don't go and buy a jewelry store and expect to have gold as a resource. Don't go to a gold refinery plant and expect to have gold as a resource. You got to go to the gold mines, to the oil fields, and whatever else. But that was the only real resource that he's mentioned. So that, back to teleportation, if we're able to teleport, I'm sure there's going to be obviously costs. So it might be one of those things where I'll teleport myself, but I won't teleport materials, and I'll ship materials, and there'll still be a need for a fossil fuel kind of economy system. But in any case, teleportation will be very special on Earth 2. Teleporters will allow users to locate and visit your properties via a unique name that you can register for each property, making it a lot easier for people to find you. I'm thinking this is going to be something like, somebody said a cryptocurrency wallet, and that makes no sense. I don't want to say anybody has, I don't want to say like it's stupid, but you didn't think really much through. I'm not going to mention who said that, but I saw a video where they said, oh, it's going to be like a wallet. No, I think it's going to be more like maybe a URL, or it will just be like a handle, just like on Instagram. Like if my Instagram page was like a physical place, you could go there using a handle. I would think a handle or a URL would be way more applicable than a wallet. And I'm not even confident to say like it's definitely going to be they're throwing in cryptocurrency related stuff anywhere they can just to have something to say. So that's my critique, not to hurt any feelings, but just to correct those ideas that are floating out there without any reason. In any case, having a good name for your property will certainly make your property stand out, and no two properties will have the same teleportation names, like a handle, like a URL. Each property will, I really hope it's not the .io URLs, because those are like 30 something bucks a pop, where .com is like 11 bucks. But I digress. Each property will come equipped with its own standard teleporter, capable of using the property deed as a co-coordinate for other users to teleport to. Okay, so I'm thinking just like our names, like if you log into your Earth 2 account, if you don't change your name, it defaults to user number. I think it's gonna be something like that, where we will then be able to change our name, and if it's available, we'll be granted that name. So get creative with your names, get ready for them, start making lists, look at the properties you own. And when you buy something, also think of what name you want to throw on it. Because if you're, like I've got some property across the street from the Louvre in Paris, but if I had a handful of squares at the Louvre, there's going to be a mad dash for the Louvre as a teleportation name. Or like, again, I'm just speculating. Maybe it has to be the Louvre.io or whatever else. In any case, larger properties will get the ability to upgrade their teleporters and in turn register shorter names given to the larger presence that they have in Earth 2. So for those of you who didn't catch the live stream, Shane did mention something about, one of the questions was, are we going to be able to combine properties or separate properties? And he said, he's like, it won't be to your advantage to be able to do it. They later said, yes, we do intend to allow you to do that, but you will see why that's not going to be to your advantage. I think this is what they're talking about. If you got a large property and you shrink it, maybe your teleportation name won't be as ideal. And we're going to be getting into advertising. So if you're trying to get as many eyeballs to your teleporter and be able to pick the name or get preferential treatment on getting that name, whatever. So obviously dividing the properties might compromise that. That's all I'm saying. But they did say you will be able to join properties. I don't know at what point. I don't know if it's going to be a phase 2 thing, a phase 3 thing, or later on down the road. But I know a lot, myself included, a lot of people bought single squares or small groups of squares that were next to each other that were touching. But my thought was, if I'm going to be selling this property, I'll be able to sell the individual squares more quickly and more readily than a large chunk, because that large chunk has to be the guy who wants to buy in that area and wants to pay that price. Whereas if I sell a bunch of single squares, I could chunk it up a little bit easier. Okay, teleportation will begin in early phase 2 and will initially be supported via web interfaces. I see those questions coming through. I haven't started reading them yet, but I will get to them. And I'll try to keep this short. It's Valentine's Day. I know you guys probably have other stuff to be doing. Sunday, getting ready for the week. Teleportation will begin very early in phase 2 and will initially be supported via web interface. They mentioned, there's going to be web, VR, and an app. Earth 2 has acquired a 2-character domain name that will act as a gateway to teleport directly to these properties on Earth 2. Okay, so you'll get a domain under their, so they probably have kind of like a .io. That's what I was afraid of, but I think it's going to be something that's exclusive to them, like .e2. I don't know. And then you'll have blah, 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 whatever your thing is. Now, the question is, are you going to be able to change it? Is the person who buys it from you going to be able to change it? I don't see why not. Essentially, properties could be thought of as futuristic web portals, much the same way that web pages became popular in the late 90s and early 2000s, and will be the way to navigate and find things quickly on Earth too. All right, that's interesting. Dubai. Who wants to hear about Dubai? This is interesting. Now, someone asked, I think it was on one of the live streams, someone asked how I thought they were going to do the Dubai release and the other countries, because as we know, as a lot of us know, a lot of restricted countries. We debated about it. Now we got an answer. Dubai and the UAE are definitely heating up and coming soon. Any land that has been illegally acquired, there will be wiped clean. So do yourself a favor and don't buy it from others. Now, again, another previous video I was talking about the scammers. One of the scams that was going on with Earth 2 that they were having headaches with was these people who were finding glitches in the system that allowed them to exploit these bugs and buy restricted properties. They, at the time, were saying that they didn't know what they were going to do. My opinion at the time, not that I had any reason to think they were going to do this, but my opinion was, screw them. If you're breaking the rules and we're all playing by the rules, that's not fair. You can easily just take that person's property back and, refund them the money. Now, I think one of the issues with some of the refunds would be, let's say you broke the rules and bought Dubai, but then you sold it to me on the market and I didn't break the rules. What happens there? Do I lose Dubai? Do I get the money from you? What happens if you took the money out of the account? Now I can't get the money back from you, but I lose Dubai, but I didn't do anything wrong. And I didn't know I couldn't buy it on the open market. So I saw why this was going to be a bit more of a not to unravel, even once they got the green light on the religious and legal red tape that was holding them back. So don't buy it. If you see Dubai, if you see any of these restricted countries on the market, do not buy them. I'm sure they're going to probably be making it so you can't even list them on the market soon. There will be a countdown, and that countdown will be longer than 24 hours. But we cannot say by how much. We realize some members of the community do not want a countdown. However, it seems to be the fairest option to give people equal opportunity to prepare. We imagine most users will be trying. I'm just thinking about the servers crashing again. Oh man, you guys have been playing. If you guys have been in Earth 2 long enough, you guys remember the servers crashing. Like, people complain about it now. It's so much better now. You have no idea. It's going to be like that night. Whatever, I'm assuming it's going to be at night. We realize some members of the community do not want a countdown. However, it seems to be the fairest option to give some equal opportunity to prepare. We imagine most users will be trying to purchase with e-dollar credit already in their account, as that would be the fastest way to process the payments and process the payment and property deed. But if you choose direct credit card payment, be aware that there may be delays. We will try to set a time that is reasonable for people for all various time zones around the world. That's going to be weird. So we've got 24 hours a day. How are they going to set one time that's going to be fair for everybody? Because regardless of what time you pick, it's going to be 5 a.m. for some part of the world. It's going to be 1 a.m. for some part of the world. It's going to be rush hour traffic for some part of the world. So it's going to be interesting. So there will be a countdown on Dubai. If you guys go to the earth2.io website right now, there is a countdown for the trailer that's going to be coming up, and I'll be talking about that shortly. But I imagine it'll be a similar trailer, and I think that we're obviously going to be waiting for the trailer before Dubai comes out, because they wouldn't want to have two countdowns going at the same time. Now that we're using countdowns in Earth 2, are we going to release phases the same way? Maybe. If they feel that there'd be some type of advantage for somebody to be getting in and utilizing the phases before everybody else, I could see there being a countdown so everyone has a warning. But or they'll just say, all right, at this time it's going live, which would still be a countdown. Earth 2 Pay. E2 has implemented its own payment option, which is a lot more cost effective for us to operate, meaning we have faster access to more funds we can allocate to growth and development of Earth 2 and for its users. Presently, we offer Visa and MasterCard, but our system will be able to adapt to numerous other payment methods in the near future, making it more convenient for users from varying demographics. We also offer direct deposit via TransferWise. If you guys want, there's a TransferWise link below. I think you get your first transfer of up to $600 free, or maybe it's your first $600 is free, no fee. So check out that link below. TransferWise is the fastest and most secure way to get money out of Earth 2 right now. They're not doing it through PayPal yet because there's just too many transactions they have to verify. But TransferWise is a great way to send money all over the world. So regardless of what country you're in, TransferWise is probably the best way to do it. And especially once you get into trying to send money to like checking accounts in other countries and converting it from the dollar to whatever the local currency is. Obviously, E2 is a tether of the dollar, meaning it's a one-to-one correlation with the dollar. So TransferWise, link below. Also, you guys probably notice, I do land giveaways. There's a little banner talking about the land giveaways. I will do the winner for the land giveaway. I've got it over here, Tika. I remember that name. Cool name. Tika is the winner of the land giveaway. And then also I've got a winner for the credits, the purchases I've been making. I've been using, I can't think today. Referral codes. All right. We are removing PayPal as a payment option, but we are working on adding more payment options. In the next few weeks, payments may only be made via Visa, MasterCard, and TransferWise. So please plan ahead should you wish to have credits available for certain events like Dubai coming out. All right. Earth 2 terrain video. I don't know which one of these I was most excited about. We've got some other little things to discuss too, but now are they going to take crypto as a payment method? That's fast. I see it as going right along with this. Wouldn't be too hard for them to set up a crypto wallet, right? If they're looking to cut down fees, I don't know anything that's better and faster than crypto, considering this thing's built on a blockchain style tech, hand in hand. Smart contracts, who's it going to be? I think it's going to be something Ethereum based. I'm just saying, but Earth 2 terrain video. Our team has been so excited to release this video as it will give an insight into what one of the phase 3 terrain biomes will look like, and most importantly, will display what has been developed to date and why development is special. Though phase 3 will be some time away, I think it'll be by the end of the year. The video will give you all a clear idea of how far we have already come and what we are striving toward. And once this video is released, we can begin to share our other advancements towards phase 3 more frequently as we move forward through phase 2. I think we're going to have a series of videos coming out, video updates of what's going on. I'm really looking forward to that. The video will be released this week, and a countdown will begin on our website shortly. It's already up. Advertising. Now, this is something I've spoken to you guys about before. Me as a businessman, especially with a marketing background and some experience dealing with marketing on all sides of it, advertising is going to be what brings in probably the most substantial value and money into this whole platform. Is the attention that's going to have, the ability to capture eyeballs and put ads in front of them, and then we'll make that money based on how many ads we're able to have on our Earth properties. So advertising, we are hoping, and this is going to be coming, I think this is going to be like the 4th or 5th way to make money. In any case, we are hoping to soon begin testing advertising rollouts on the current mapping display. These are early days, but we're exploring ways that will also benefit users when ads are displayed on the property through the map view. The beginning of phase 2 is almost upon us. We imagine phase 2 will run for some time and include many updates as it is played out mainly in 2D, but it may also include various 3D features on different platforms and applications as they become available. We have been blown away by some of the mega cities and planning that has clearly taken place by the community, so much so that we are looking at ways to reward users working together, and we are looking at ways we can allow users to potentially reposition existing tiles where free space is available. So that would be interesting. So let's say you own some spot in Manhattan and there's a free tile in Manhattan that hasn't been bought yet, but you don't want to spend the money that you're spending now. You bought it at $8. I think I bought mine at, I don't know, like $4 or $5 for my spot in Manhattan. And let's say we want to move it to a tile that hasn't been purchased, but we don't want to pay money again. That's pretty cool. Throughout phase 2, you'll be able to customize your properties a lot more and advance their technical abilities while mining resources that will be used throughout phase 2 and beyond. Pretty exciting. Now we've got some more updates. The Earth 2 terrain video will be released on Tuesday at 7 p.m. UTC. From now until then, we hope to have another payment option available. Though there are still many in line, we have made good progress on withdrawals and will continue to improve on that. Final video interviews are taking place with some well-known international support companies as key candidates. This will help Earth 2 improve response and handling of support issues and other processes, and will also include a phone number people can call through. This is all, now, one thing I haven't stopped to mention, but we're getting towards the end of what Shane's got to say, so I'll mention this. A lot of this is going to be fostering more trust in Earth 2, and as I said before, the video, the development, call support, payments coming out faster, like all these things that have been hindrances are now being removed. And people will be like, oh, is it really real? Are these guys just taking money? And what's the difference between me just getting Google Maps and throwing some kind of grid on it and selling the squares on the grid? It's like, yeah, you could do that. Yeah, maybe these guys are laughing in a yacht, in the Mediterranean on a yacht, and they have no plans on developing this. Or maybe this is one of the biggest opportunities, or the biggest opportunity of your lifetime. We'll see. Maybe something in between. Let's see. Another Earth 2 stream is on the table after the video release, which will cover the video, phase 2, and other Earth 2 related topics. More to come. Now, we haven't had our last, he finishes off with this. There may be some server downtime over the weekend as we perform upgrades, but it will be minimal. I did notice that it told me to, I tried logging in, it told me to try at like 7, or I forget what time it told me to try. It was just like, okay, I remember seeing that in the update. So this is going to bring a lot of value to Earth 2 from, a subjective, speculative view. So more people are going to be made aware of this trailer. What happens? I mentioned this before. What happens when a movie trailer comes out? People are like, oh, I want to see that movie. That's how you sell tickets. Well, this is the movie. We've been, fortunate enough to get ahead of this. Imagine the Matrix coming out and you knew in development that you could start buying stock in Miramar or whoever, Miramax or whoever put it out, and you knew that it was going to go up. This is so much bigger than that. But this is like, we were investing in something before the trailer, before the advertisements, before any of the marketing was really out. They haven't put any effort into marketing. Aside from the referral codes, there's really been no effort. And the referral codes actually bit them in the butt because it works so well. And so many people responded. The referral codes are probably going to be coming to an end. I don't know if they're coming to an end with phase 2. I don't see why at any point they could stop them. And they didn't say that it was going to be a permanent thing. So if you're looking to invest, might as well use referral codes. If you're looking for a referral code to use, I'd really appreciate it if you use mine. That one is below. If you use it, send me proof that you use it, and I will send you exclusive information. There's a form below. You basically find salt and gold. I'll show you how to find it. All sorts of resources, and I'll take care of you. But in any case, that's what I want to share with you guys. Let me see what questions and comments I've got here. Just getting to them now. Thank you guys for being patient. Okay. You got to get on it as soon as the teleportations are out. I would definitely try to get one as your name. Then your friends can easily find your spot. If you got like a Instagram handle or something like that, you could use that as well. Might be a good idea. You probably have multiple spots, so you got to keep that in mind. That's right. Sean, last time when we went live last week, Sean was having a little bit of issues with the two-factor authentication. If you guys didn't see that video, I did that last week. And two-factor authentication, another example of the increased value and legitimacy of this project. Now there's some security so people can't hack into your account. If you don't have your 2FA set up, your two-factor authentication, go set it up. If you don't know what it is, check out my most recent video. I discuss it, show you guys how to do it, and walk you through it. Sean, good on you for figuring it out. We're a little concerned there. Hey, man, I'm doing very well. I hope you're doing well as well. Happy Valentine's Day, wherever you are. I don't know what countries celebrate it and what don't. I know you guys are from all over the world. Thank you, Xander. I'll make sure to keep an eye out for you. I appreciate you using my code. And I am from Florida, good old US of A. Wow, that's a nice. After 2 years, it depends on where they are, but with the growth rate and where this thing could be going, I wouldn't say no. I have no idea where those tiles are. That's a lot of tiles. It's definitely possible, especially depending upon where they are. No problem, Xander. All right, I went through the question. Oh, what do we have here? How can it be that the Burn Caliphate is already put? They are. I think that's the tower, right, in Dubai. There's a lot of Dubai land that's already bought up because people were two reasons. It wasn't restricted at first, so people were purchasing it before it was restricted, and then once it after it was restricted, people were still making purchases through some bugs. But I think the ones who made the purchases after the restriction was in place, they're going to lose that. So if Burn Caliphate, I believe, is that the name? Isn't that the name of the tallest building in the world that's in Dubai? Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. But if that's the case, if those guys acquired that, I believe it was a British person who I saw a bunch of British flags all over it. If they are the ones who acquired it and they did it, I guess you could click on it and see what date they purchased it, but I don't know what date the restrictions were implemented, so that wouldn't help. But in any case, that's definitely going to be a very popular place. That's going to be some very valuable land to own. So that's probably where everybody's going to be rushing as soon as Dubai. I'm going to be trying to buy anything I can on Dubai just to have it, because there's obviously so many people looking for it. And it was like this hot commodity. Not only is it going to be hitting the market probably at 10 cents, because that's where every country starts, but it'll probably skyrocket. And if you're able to buy it under $1, it's going to go into the double digits so fast. There's probably some, oil dude in Dubai who's already waiting to drop whatever type of money he has to buy up stuff. So if you beat him to it and he wants to buy whatever you buy because it's his city or it's the school he went to or it's a building he owns or it's a place he likes, I imagine it's going to drive through the second market prices of Dubai up very quickly. And that's also going to affect the primary market as well, obviously. Burj Khalifa. Burj Khalifa. So is that not the Burj Khalifa? Is that not the isn't that the building? You're saying it's in? Yeah, Burj Khalifa, tallest building in the world. Yes, that's what I was talking about. It is New Zealand that bought it. Those are New Zealand flags. Okay, I'm an American, man. You guys know how uneducated we are when it comes to anything outside of our country. We just have a bad school system and just has us focusing on our own BS politics. Might get censored now that I said that. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated as soon as I see some more stuff. But check out the countdown on earth2.io and set an alarm for when that video is coming out. It'll be cool to be one of the first ones to watch it. It may give us some hints as to where we're going to want to be spending our money. I don't know, but it's always nice to be one of the first ones to know, right? Rock on, guys. Later, Sean, Xander, Airman, 1984. We were born the same year. Gazger, Anto, Ethan, I Simplify. Who else? I'll give it Sick DC. All right, got everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope to see you next time. Have an awesome Sunday or whatever day it is, wherever you are. Sláinte.